Hey everybody, this is Miss Florida Hot Picks, and I just wanted to share with you the Miss Florida Hot Picks guide. This is regarding doubles, triples, even quads that may be hot for the week. This list is already in the membership tab under the community post. Make sure you pay attention, check those out. If this goes well, I will be trying to put those out weekly. Definitely let me know what's been going on with your states. I will be trying to check daily as well. I'm trying to pinpoint. A lot of people are, when they play doubles, it's like, well, when can we expect them? One thing I noticed with some states, that sometimes they're based on the date sum number or the date number. And I got an example from Florida. I want to show you a few of them. So this will give you some ideas how to, when you're tracking your state and you think doubles, triples, or quads, or whatever is coming out, that maybe we can have a guideline on the date. Now, I'm going to tell you something. It may not apply to all states, and I get that. But if there's something that you can gather from here, or if you notice maybe they play the day before or the day after, that's good to note as well, because some states will pull that. So let's go over the charts. Okay, so we have here the doubles could be used for possibly pick 2, pick 3, or pick 4. And on Monday, December 23rd, using the date number of 3. Pay attention to that date number of 3. I know people talk about date sums, but the date number is actually 3, right? So I've noticed the date number can bring on 3388. It's mirror 38. Okay? Make sure you know your mirrors, because just in case they don't want to pull doubles, they may pull a mirror. Now, here's the cool part. Where did I get the 55 and the 00? The date sum number. Let's talk about the date sum number. The date sum number is when we add the month plus the date together. Okay? So we get the number 35. The 5 is the actual date sum number. Okay? That's your date sum number. Sometimes doubles or doubles, mirrors, triples can follow that number depending on your state. So I'm going to show you an example for Florida, so it can open up your eyes a little bit, so you get some ideas on what you might want to look for. So the date sum, we have 5500, or it's mirror 50. Okay, so let's do one more. Let's look at Tuesday the 24th, December 24th. So we're going to take the date number 4499. That could be a possibility if your state is rolling that way, or maybe even a mirror 49. Now, if they're using the date sum number, pay attention. And I'm going to show you how to look at this for your state. 12 plus 24, right? We get the number 36. 6 is actually the date sum number. So there's a difference between your date number and the date sum number. And I'll show you in a second. So anyways, let's go back. So we have the double 66 or 11, or it's mirror 61. Those are the possibilities there. So hopefully this will give you guys some ideas, all right? I also have it for the triples. Did it the same way, okay? You got your triple eights, triple three, triple five, triple zeros. The 8s are based on the date number. The 5s and 0s are based on the date sum. Some states may fall for that day. False trips, I have it based on the date number and the false and the date sum number. So we get a little bit of both, right? Okay. And those triples could be used for pick 3 or pick 4. You may notice that in your state. Okay. Then for pick 4, quads. A lot of people want those quads coming, right? So again, I'm using the same thing, the same setup. The date number, you got your quad 8, quad 3, okay? If it's a date sum, 5 or 0, maybe the quad 5, quad 0, okay? False quads, I also break them down too, because sometimes that could happen. I hope I have every possibility here, but I have those that go with the date number, those that go with the date sum. And again, this sheet will already be on the community post as we speak, so you could go back and then you could screenshot it, keep it in your phone for the week. Okay, I just want to note to everybody, this is for entertainment only. All numbers are not for all states. Okay, so please study your state's patterns and good luck. Now we're going to talk to you about patterns and how this is going. Okay, So let's look here. Let me turn this here so I don't have too much. I want to share with you something. I just did the video on doubles for Florida. It doesn't say Florida, but it's talking about doubles. It's the newest video. I will try to link that video in the description. So just in case you kind of miss it, you can go back to it, okay? So I'm going to share with you the doubles and how the date sum numbers and date numbers play a huge part in some states. So let's start with the hit, okay? Let's start with, I'm trying to think here. We'll talk about the hit 775. Let's talk about that, 775. Now, I have here, there's a couple patterns with Florida where we're catching doubles. Anytime we have a mirror or a double that's in front or in back, I'm noticing there are some patterns. Sometimes using the opposite digit, like look at this 775 for instance. And again, I have the video so you guys can break that down. But this is where that we got the 775. It's connected to the other digit besides the mirrors. It was part of the hit. So we're looking at doubles and mirror hits to find the next double and mirrors. Okay, if that makes any sense, guys. So 775, notice the date number 2 or it's mirror 7, which is why you need to know what your mirrors are. Okay, because if you don't know what your mirrors are, you'll totally have not connected that was the date number. So that 775 fell under the date number. It was just its mirror. Okay, let's talk about mirrors in case you don't know what they are. 0 could be a 5 or 5 could be a 0. 1 could be a 6, 6 could be a 1. 2 could be a 7, 7 could be a 2. 3 could be an 8, 8 could be a 3. 4 could be a 9, and a 9 could be a 4. Okay? Okay. So just based on the patterns, and again, I want you guys to check it out if you can. Another thing I noticed about how we catch doubles and mirrors is not that it just goes diagonal. Sometimes we'll catch hits like that, doubles or mirrors, but sometimes they could be wrapped around the key digit. Now this one, it happened to be a 0. But I noticed whether it's a 0 or whatever numbers are front or back of that double mirror, when we go to our centers, though, we'll see some type of doubles or mirrors around. Look at this, 699. 699. It played the evening. So we got 2 hits. This mirror led us to 2 hits for the next day. And we'd probably miss them. But they did. They came around their key digit here. It was wrapped right around. Okay. And notice the 9 nines now. This was the date sum number, but it was in its mirrored form. So the date sum was 4, the 9s. Okay, and you have to just see what your state is pulling. Okay, so I've showed you 2 examples. They can switch up with you. That's why I said when people just stick to one thing, you have to study your state. So the 775, the double 7s was linked to the date number, but it was its mirror. The double 9s was linked up to the date sum number. Okay, this is where I get the idea to put all of those for the rest of the week. So it'll help anyone, if your state does, to give you a little quick guide and say, hey, this might work out. Pay attention to those, especially if you're seeing them in your patterns and your rundowns, right? Right. So I know when I see doubles, I'm going to pay attention to whatever the pattern in my state is, and I'm going to pay attention if it's linking up with a nearby date sum or date number, which is the actual date, or the date sum. Okay, and sometimes they'll be for a couple days ahead. And a lot of people will say, oh man, if I had this information, maybe I don't have to play them every day. I'm not telling you to or not to. But if you notice that your state is really kind of sticking to it, that could be a helpful guideline on how to eliminate the numbers you play for particular days. Okay, so I'm hoping this is helpful. Let me know. Give me a like real quick. I hope the information is helpful so far, and definitely let me know how you're doing with it. And if you do see something very similar to your state, will you please let us know so we can do more videos like this, okay, for the members. All right. Oh, let me take you back to another one, honey. 830. Okay. 830, notice how the 3, it followed the date sum number. Okay, now according to the video that I just did, like I told you before, anytime you have a double or mirror left side or right side, pay attention to the number, like the number 4. This is one pattern for Florida. You'll see if you go to the center 4 and 9, you'll see that 830 wrapped right around there, 385. Okay, and that actually came out, the date sum was coming up. So that was telling me, hey, you may want to pay attention to that 385 and that 830 based on this date sum number coming up. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I have the link to that video because I go into the exact pattern of how that works. You guys make sure you take a look at it. Okay, but again, pay attention to see if your doubles or mirrors are when you're seeing your patterns. First, we got to find your patterns, but we have to figure out how they're moving. Are they moving with date sum, date numbers, or are they doing both like Florida is? That's how they throw people off. So you have to pay attention. And when you go back and start backtracking and you start seeing them around the same areas, you're like, oh, I think I might have something. Not that I can guarantee. Okay, but anyways, guys, I do have this in its fullness. Make sure you know how to get to it. Okay, and hopefully you understand how to read the guide now. All right, well, that was it. I didn't want to bore you too much, but that was it, guys. I hope this is helpful, and again, pay close attention. I'll see you guys in the next video.